What's up, witches? It's Luna the Zen Witch with a reading of the next new moon chart. This upcoming new moon occurs on Sunday, November 15th at 7:02 a.m. in the Eastern time zone, so of course adjust for your time zone. The chart you're looking at here is set for where I am, and of course you're going to ignore those house cusps if you don't live where I do. Let's look down at the charts in the bottom here, the elements and modes, and you will notice that we have super strong predominance of water and a very strong predominance of fixity, so no doubt at all that we've got a Scorpio chart signature. And even if we ignore, one of the things that's making that fixity so outstanding is that we've got the midheaven and the ascendant in this chart in a fixed sign, in fixed signs as well. May not necessarily be where you are, but it's such a strong predominance, and cardinal and mutable are so low that I think we would have a chart signature of Scorpio no matter where you're at. Let's look down here that mutability is very, very low. So this is not going to be a time to adapt, to moderate. This is a time to dig in and pick a goal and decide what you're doing, what you're kicking off. The fact that it's a Scorpio moon, first of all, water sign, so we're dealing in the emotions, and fixity is future-oriented. We have Mercury in Scorpio too. It has gone back in, it will have, I think it has gone back into Scorpio. Hold on. Okay, today. Yes, Mercury has just gone back into Scorpio today, so you might find that kind of intensity of mind coming back. Here's how to use that for this new moon. Since it's a Scorpio new moon and we're looking at Mercury, Mercury in Scorpio is about penetrating insight. It's about research. It's about going beyond surface. And since it's Mercury, this is your thoughts. And in a water sign, your thoughts are always colored by your emotions. Considering where we are at this Scorpio new moon, this would be an excellent time to kick off a really conscious grieving process, clearing out the emotions that you have been stuffing for 4 years or for however long. Mercury in Scorpio will allow you to access those emotions intellectually, to get a grip on what they're about, to describe them, to maybe find their origins, to find their story, the story of these feelings that have been so intense and transformative and life-changing. And so with the Scorpio new moon, you can kick off a grieving process that can also be transformative and life-changing. How do you do this? Well, you acknowledge that feelings are physical and that you really do need to physically process the energy of the emotions. Remember that Scorpio is the ice form of water. So emotions do not move easily with Scorpios. They move slowly. They grind down everything in front of them. Think glacier. Okay? So this would be time to look at how can we melt that glacier? How can I start a process of looking at my story, maybe telling my story to the point where it starts to what's the word I'm looking for here? Where it allows the emotions to begin flowing. If you don't really know the story and you can't access in that way, then maybe it's enough to just go for like a piece of music, a movie, a book, something that you know is going to make you cry, something that is going to trigger the release. That's what I was looking for, the release of emotion. And then once it gets moving, as long as the emotions are flowing, you can just start pinning the story to it. Okay, here are emotions hooked to this story I'm going to release. And just do your best. Do your best, trust your body, trust your psyche, right? So the only aspects that this new moon makes is a sextile to this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, Jupiter on the new moon will have moved past Pluto, but still conjunct. So looking for opportunities to grieve what's happened during this political climate. That Jupiter-Pluto is what we've been under with this, oppressive, seriously oppressive regime. Jupiter ruling governments and justice and philosophy and higher education and global issues, mass media, and Pluto being dominance and transformation. Let's go for the highest octave here, which is transformation. So this is a great time to kick off an emotional cleansing of the emotions that have come up because of this Pluto-Saturn-Jupiter stellium that has just taken us to the deepest, darkest places. So again, remember, sextiles represent opportunity. So this is an opportunity to process the experience of the last 4 years and move beyond it. Thinking, of course, how do we transform the government moving forward? How do we rewrite the contract with the people? All of these things. But it's got to start with this new moon. It needs to start with dealing with the emotional energy and dealing with the tendencies to black and white thinking, dealing with the extremist kind of thinking that this whole experience is triggered in all of us, So time to do some house cleaning there. Let's see. Pluto rules this new moon, so we've dealt with that. We also have an inconjunct to the North Node. North Node talks about the way forward. So we need to adjust being in these intense feelings and kicking off this process with knowing that it has to move us forward. So in this way, we can stop ourselves from wallowing, from getting stuck in it, because it's a fixed sign. It tends not to move, and because there's barely any mutable energy in this chart, the only mutable energy comes from Neptune in Pisces, and it's retrograde and not focalized according to this new, in terms of this new moon and where it sits. So think about, we must move forward. We must deal with the emotional energy, but with the purpose of moving forward, not getting stuck. All right. I think that's pretty much what I have to say. Of course, a new moon in Scorpio is fabulous for doing spell work. Oh, no, I do have something else to say. As of the 7th, I wanted to mention this in my Samhain videos and I forgot about it, but we had Samhain according to the calendar. Solar Samhain actually occurred on November 7th, which is when the sun hit 15 degrees of Scorpio, which is the peak of the season, the dead middle of the middle sign. So that's a little thing there. Also, Mercury playing out as of today, Mercury hitting Scorpio again, the sign that it started its retro in. And we have until the 20th, so another 9 days to clear the shadow of Mercury. I know this shadow has been a little bit more brutal than others. I had a few days of just being a hot mess and for clumsiness and just dropping shit. Just been crazy. Anyway, you'll feel the intensity of thought coming back. Use that for penetrating insight. Use that to think about the future and what I want to change and make a plan to make those changes in a big, deep way. Deep way. So I wish you a happy new moon in advance. I hope you do some amazing magic. I hope you're doing your meditation every day and your prayer work to help lift the vibration of this planet as we move forward in the most positive way possible. I will see you tomorrow for another unboxing. Until then, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.